Have you ever faced a problem that felt way too big for you? A challenge so enormous it seemed like a mountain you could never climb? Something that made you feel small, weak, and completely overwhelmed, maybe even a little afraid? It's a feeling we all know. Well, today we're going to hear the amazing story of how a young shepherd boy, someone overlooked by many, defeated a giant. He did it not with worldly strength, but with incredible courage, unwavering faith, and a deep trust in God. The story begins in the land of Israel. The Israelites, God's people, were at war with the Philistines. For weeks, the two armies camped on hills facing each other, with the valley of Elah in between. The air was thick with tension and fear. From the Philistine army came their champion, a giant named Goliath of Gath. He was over 9 feet tall, a true mountain of a man. He wore heavy bronze armor from head to toe, carried a huge spear, and his presence alone cast a shadow of dread that made everyone tremble.
Choose a man to fight me. If he wins, we will be your servants. But if I win, you will serve us. I defy the armies of Israel today.
Hearing his words, the Israelites were dismayed and terrified. Not one soldier dared to accept the challenge. For 40 long days, this continued. Every morning and every evening, the giant would stride out and mock them, his taunts echoing in the silence. And with each passing day, their hope and their courage faded, replaced by a growing sense of despair. Now David was the youngest son in his family. He wasn't a soldier. He was a shepherd boy, spending his days in the quiet hills outside Bethlehem. His job was to look after the sheep, guiding them to fresh pastures and protecting them from danger. It was a simple life, but it taught him great courage. One day, David's father sent him to the battlefield to deliver food to his older brothers. When David arrived at the camp, the air was thick with fear. He then heard a booming voice echo across the valley. It was Goliath shouting his daily challenge. David couldn't believe his ears. A righteous anger stirred within him. "Who is this giant that dares to defy the armies of the living God?" he asked. The soldiers told him about Goliath and the great reward King Saul promised to the man who defeated him. But still, after 40 days of taunts, no one was brave enough. David's brothers thought he was being nosy and told him to go home. But David wasn't afraid. His time in the wilderness had prepared him. He had fought lions and bears while protecting his sheep. And he knew it was God who gave him the strength to win. With unwavering faith, David declared,
"I will fight this giant!"
Word of his courage reached King Saul, who summoned him. When David stood before the king, Saul was shocked.
"You are only a boy. Goliath has been a warrior since he was young."
When lions or bears came to attack my sheep, I struck them down. God protected me then, and he will protect me now.
Moved by his faith, Saul finally agreed and gave David his own armor. But the bronze helmet and a heavy coat of mail were too big. David couldn't even walk in it, so David took it off. He would not trust in a king's armor, but in his God. Instead, he picked up his shepherd's staff, his sling, and chose 5 smooth stones from a stream, the familiar tools he would use to do the impossible. With the eyes of 2 armies upon him, David walked out to face the giant. He carried no sword or heavy armor, only a simple sling. But in his heart, he carried an unshakable faith in God. When the towering Goliath saw the young shepherd boy approaching, he roared with laughter. He felt insulted. Was this boy the champion Israel had sent to fight him?
Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks? Come here and I will feed you to the birds.
But David was not afraid. While Goliath roared, David stood calm. He knew this battle was not his to fight alone. His confidence was in his God.
You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel. Today the Lord will deliver you into my hands.
With those words, David ran quickly toward Goliath. As he moved, he reached into his bag for a smooth stone and placed it in his sling, never taking his eyes off the giant. He swung the sling above his head, faster and faster. Then, with perfect timing, he let it fly. The small stone whizzed through the air. It struck Goliath squarely in the forehead. The giant's mocking expression vanished, replaced by shock. He swayed for a moment, and then fell face down on the ground with a mighty crash. There was stunned silence. Then, the Philistine army, seeing their champion defeated by a boy, were filled with terror and fled. A tremendous cheer erupted from the Israelites as they chased their enemies, winning a great victory. David, the shepherd boy, had defeated the giant through faith and courage. The story of David and Goliath is so much more than just an ancient tale. It's a powerful reminder for us all. It teaches a timeless lesson about where true strength comes from and how faith in God gives us courage to face the challenges in our own lives. You see, we all face giants. They may not be 9 feet tall, but they can feel just as overwhelming. A giant might be the fear of failure, the sting of unkind words, or a difficult situation that seems impossible. These giants can make us feel small. But remember David. His strength didn't come from weapons or armor. It came from a deep, unwavering trust in God. He saw the giant, but he focused on a God who was even bigger. And that is the lesson for us. When we trust God with our fears, no giant is too big. With His help, we can overcome anything. So, what giants are you facing today? Remember the shepherd boy. Just like David, you can have courage and victory when you put your trust in God. If this story of courage and faith inspired you, please let us know by liking this video and sharing it with someone who might need a little encouragement. And be sure to subscribe for more amazing Bible stories. We'll see you next time.